Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Long gone are the days where any sort of constructive criticism would be met with discussion or followed up by discussion and improvement or anything like that. Now we are at a time where over and over, one time after another, one show, one movie, one video game criticism after another is met with, "You're just a filthy istophobe. You're just a filthy insert buzzword insult here." And, well, instead of opening up avenues of discussion and warming up to the fans and listening to any sort of criticism of the Acolyte, good old Amanda Stenberg claims to have spent 72 hours on a video song criticizing the fans, calling them bigots and racists and all sorts of stuff. First of all, these 72 hours, no, that's a little bit too convenient. I do not believe you. Second of all, the way you went about it, you want to get some sort of message out there and criticism of whatever sort of fan backlash and whatever you want to call it. Do I believe that there are actual POS racists out there calling her racially motivated insults? Yeah, I do. Not quite as many as Disney and Amandla claim there to be. It's never really the case. It's one or two, but this time there's absolutely no receipts whatsoever. Now, I understand people are criticizing her because she's half white and came from a Danish rich family, that she's kind of speaking from a place of privilege and doesn't really have any right to speak on behalf of actual people who are marginalized and discriminated against. But you know what? If you believe in something, if you believe in a movement, and I'm going to get to the video in a second, I'm getting there. If you believe in a movement, speak. Speak what you think you need to speak. Say what you believe you need to say. I do not feel like your financial status, your lineage, your heritage, or what sort of upbringing you came from gives you the right to speak for or against any sort of position. However, the method at which you try to get your message out is really, really important in gyrating whatever dancing and everything Amanda Stenberg decided to do in this video. Oh, I firmly believe. Well, you understand the result is people are making fun of her over and over again. Not to mention, if you don't have subtitles on, you genuinely have no idea what she's singing. Maybe choose a better platform next time if you have something to say, if you want people to take you seriously. But let's get on with the cringe. Star Wars The Acolyte actress Amanda Stenberg claims to be a victim of racism, releases cringe song on Juneteenth to Virtue Signal. And honestly, based on the format she chose, the words she chose, that's all this is coming across as. Cringe, Virtue Signal. Now, the article goes into all the lines on it, and because I have no intention of watching that atrocity one more time, Amanda also going around and falsely copyright striking, copyright claiming anyone and everyone who is playing the song to criticize it, even people who are actually using, what's the word? Well, they're fair use, using it as fair use, criticizing, using it in a journalistic manner, regardless of what you think of the channel. That's that's a false claim. But anyway, let's move on. The song begins. We're so bored. We're so bored. Don't fuck with your discourse. Except you're obviously not bored, and you decided to make the video. Oh, quite a few lines are stellar, amazing, fantastic. Calling out people, calling out the criticism of the interview she did with Trevor Noah, claiming she was 13, even though she was 20. But anyway, saying that, using that interview as if she's talking about the criticism toward the Acolyte, talking about the Acolyte. No, dear, everyone knew when that interview was from because there's a date. There's a date stamp on it. People are using it to criticize Disney as this is the people Disney wants to hire without an interview. Nepotism much. Anyway. Let's get on to the meat of the article. Oh, are you listening to me? I'm going to tell you something fascinating. No. See, this is why I try not to use the term woke, because, woke has been bastardized. 100%. I think both sides of the ideological spectrum have bastardized it. So I try to stay away from it. It can mean so many different things. And 9 times out of 10, much like with Amanda's video, when you start using that term, people will tune you out. You must be more particular. Don't use buzzwords. Try not to use buzzwords. Definitely don't use that buzzword. Keep an eye out for you silly racist. Claiming. This is making the assumption that any and all criticism directed towards the Acolyte is rooted in racism. Now, I have not heard all that much criticism against Amanda Stenberg. Amanda Stenberg. Haven't seen too much criticism directed towards her. It's mainly the story, the writing, the plot contrivance, the lack of any idea of how time passes in any of these 4 episodes of the series. So it makes me question on whether or not she spent 72 hours or this was something that was ripping and waiting and just raring to go, just happened to fall on June 19th. Interesting how those things work out. You make your own decision, chorus repeats, and we keep going and going. A lot of people are criticizing the whole 400 years of things. Like, darling, be careful with the words you use when you're trying to speak on a subject. People are tired of hearing that. There's a lot of controversy behind it. If you want to talk, be more recent. Try that. Oh, let's see. So the root of the article and the root of this criticism, Stenberg provides no evidence of the intolerable racism because there is no evidence. There is evidence, however, of actual criticism of characters who weren't supposed to be alive, although Disney, the old fellows, ladies and gentlemen at Wikipedia, went to change that quick, fast, and in a hurry. The idea that the possibility of a red lightsaber user, probably a Sith or a Dark Force user, was seen 100 years before Episode 1, and yet there's no discussion of it in anywhere else. So obviously everybody's got to die, but we know not everybody's going to die. The plot contrivance of Episode 1 that drives me absolutely insane every single time I think about it, but none of that is rooted in racism. The claims that people are being racist towards the Jedi Master, the actor who said twice, mind you, that Anakin blew up the Death Star, and there is no good or evil. It's all a matter of perspective when it comes to the Star Wars universe. Criticism of those statements is rooted in racism, obviously not taking the piss out of what he said and making fun of him. We can't do that anymore. It's always rooted in racism and bigotry and hatred, and people are getting rather tired of it because the more you accuse any and all criticism of being rooted in racism and bigotry, you are turning away the normie fans who are giving your show the smallest of chance to impress. And it's happening over and over again. You want to make your videos and accuse people of being istophobes. You better come with proof. You better come with receipts because, well, we have proof, we have receipts, and more than happy to show them every single time of the oh-so-tolerance coming from your side. Intolerable racism that she's been flooded with, which more than likely means the whole thing is a marketing stunt in order to run cover for the poor ratings and atrocious audience scores. But we don't need to listen to the audience because it's the audience's fault. It's the fans' fault on why the Acolyte is failing. It has nothing to do with the abysmal writing. IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes score. Yes, we use Rotten Tomatoes to point and laugh, not in any sort of dependable ratings aggregate for any show, but hey, it's always nice to point and laugh when the critics come out with an 84%, but the audience is 14%. Oh, but it's review bombing. Well, it's review bombing on both sides of the fence. People giving it 1s and 5s or 1s and 10s because either they like the show or to combat the other side, or they hate Disney, so they give it a 1. Both of them are just as nonsensical, but only one of them is ever talked about. IMDb show is currently at a 3.4. That's higher than it should. Oh no, 3.4 out of 10. That would be what? 17? A 17%, a 1.7 out of 5, comparable to the good old Rotten Tomatoes. So is IMDb full of nasty, filthy review bombing trolls as well? Obviously it is. As far as the show's rating, Walt Disney Company revealed the show's total global viewership was seemingly less than Ahsoka, but I thought it was the bestest ever. Everybody's watching it. Disney claimed the series had 11.1 million views for the first 2 episodes, which comes to 820 million minutes viewed. Ahsoka's US viewership was 829 million minutes viewed, according to Nielsen. Oopsie doopsie. Maybe the Acolyte is not doing as well as everyone claims it to be. Let's see. Illuminate data revealed the first 2 episodes only attracted 210 million minutes viewed in the US for the series. Well, that's for the US, not worldwide. Either way. As for Stenberg claiming that her comments about making white people cry were taken out of context. This is true. Yes, we all know it was true. People used that to show... I know there were some people out there that jumped the gun. Obviously, that is going to happen in the era of content creation. You try to get that story out there first, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And it's one of the reasons why I have a tendency to wait a day or two. It has nothing to do with that. I have a job and I'm tired. But anyway, when I did the video one, I talked about it in either on a live stream or a video. But yes, she was talking about a movie that she was promoting at the time. Previously noted, even in context, the comments are disgusting. Well, yeah, but that's who Disney wants to hire for their shows. That is who is in Star Wars now. While she claims it is to have empathy for murder victims, they were more than likely done to push an anti-police agenda. We're not going to talk. Yeah, take it however you want to. Go watch the video. Social novelist Brian Niemer, let's see, explains how Hollywood primes audiences for its political agenda. It's not like the cult churns out woke movies with no purpose in mind, and unlike some assume, that purpose is not to affect cultural change by themselves, though cult media do move that needle. I forgot how to read. What else do we have in this article? This is all so very much fun. The main gist of what I wanted to talk about is when you want to deliver a message, whether it's a religious message, a political message, a belief, or anything like that, delivery is very important. The format you use is exceptionally important. If you want to sing about it, it might be a good idea to make sure people can understand what you're saying, and try not to distract people by shoving your crotch and bouncing your breasts up and down violently over and over again, because your message will be lost. If you want to continue doing that, be my guest, Amanda. But don't expect people to take you seriously when you do so. But that's all I've got. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike. I appreciate you making this far. Do all those nifty little things that YouTubers beg you to do, and I hope to see you on the next one.